What's up, guys? In today's video I'm going to be giving my top 10 favorite characters in My Hero Academia. There are going to be spoilers for certain characters that have not been shown yet in the anime, so if you guys want to click off the video, that's perfectly fine, but let's get right into it. So at my number 10 I have Kurishima. You guys probably know him. He has the hardening ability, and the reason he's here for me is because in the newest chapters he realizes that there is a big gap between him and like the main characters, and many characters like in other shonen or other animes, they know it but they never like state it. They're always like, oh yeah, I just have to catch up. Like, so he's very realistic about it, which is why he's on my number 10. And also in the newest chapters, if you haven't seen it, he gets a new power-up which looks pretty sick in my opinion. At number 9 is Sun Eater, aka Tamaki, and if you guys know who this is, he's a third year and he's in the top 3. The reason he's on here is because of his quirk, which I find interesting. It's manifest. He can manifest characteristics of things he eats, which is pretty cool. If you read the manga, or if you read the manga, then you saw him in action a little bit, not a lot. And also I just like his personality of how it's funny to me how he's so gloomy and like he lacks confidence in his abilities even though he's in top 3, which I just always find kind of funny. And at my number 8 is Sir Knight. If you guys don't know who this is, he was a sidekick for All Might. He's a really big fan of All Might. The reason I like him is because on the outside he seems very mean, but in the inside he really just enjoys humor and stuff. And I also like how he doesn't believe in Izuku. He believes that Izuku shouldn't have, or Midoriya, he believes he shouldn't have gotten a quirk, and he thinks All Might should have picked a better person. And at number 7 is Overhaul. If you guys don't know who this is, he's a villain. He's the leader of a villain organization. The reason I put him on here is because he's just such a savage. He killed one of his men for messing up on like a task that he was given, and then he tells his other man just to clean it up like nothing. He just walks away. And also another thing is I'm really interested in his quirk. He's like a very powerful villain. If you touch him, like your body explodes or something. So I'm very interested in what type of quirk he has. So that's why he's at number 7. And at number 6 is Aizawa, aka Eraserhead. If you guys know who that is, he's the teacher for like Midoriya, Bakugo, and like, you know, the rest of the class of his class. And the reason I put him over here is because he reminds me of Kakashi, and which in a way the reason I say he reminds me of Kakashi is because he's calm-headed and he's a really skilled teacher and hero. And at number 5 for me is Todoroki. If you guys don't know who that is, he has like half ice and half fire power. The reason I put him on this list is because number 1, I love his quirk, but also I loved how like in the beginning he had a conflict of not using his fire power because he really despised his dad. So for me that gave him just like a little more little more development. Also in the beginning he was kind of cold, you know, not really caring about everyone else, but now like in the manga he really cares about his friends, which I love just to see the development. So that's why he's at number 5. And at my number 4 is Midoriya. You guys all know who that is Izuku. The reason I put him in here is because it's more of what he represents. To me, he represents like a person that was told that they couldn't do something, like no, that's impossible for you to do, but he overcame the like impossible odds and just was able to accomplish it. And that's the reason I really put him up here. I like his character, but I like more of what he represents, and that's why he's really high on this list for me. And at number 3 for me is Stain. If you guys know who he is, he's a villain. He's probably the best villain so far in My Hero Academia in my opinion. The reason I say this is because he actually had a pretty good reason to be a villain. The reason he was a villain is because he was trying to weed out all of the weak heroes in the current society, because he believes the current society was run by the fake heroes, aka like the weak heroes, and he didn't just kill or attack heroes just to kill them. He had a reason for that. And also I love how after he was caught, he brought like a lot of attention to like his to what he believes in, and certain people started following him. He had like a big influence on like villains and also heroes. So that's why he's at my number 3. And at my number 2 is All Might. You guys probably already knew he would be in my top 10. The reason I put All Might is because he's like the Superman for My Hero Academia. Even though he's like a Superman and like super strong, he still got injured. And later on, he loses his ability to be a hero altogether, which further develops his character. And like, I'm just happy, and I really can't wait to see where he's headed. Because if you guys don't know, in a year or two, he's supposed to die based on Sir Knight's quirk, which is like foresight. So I'm very interested to see what's held in the future for him, and I just love him as a character overall and what he represents. And at my number 1 spot is Bakugo. If we were talking about the beginning of the series, then I would say I didn't really like Bakugo, but he just had so much development, especially after he got caught by the villains and he turned down to become like them. He wants to be a hero, and also how he feels like it's his fault that All Might got in his predicament. I'm not gonna say what type of predicament. You know, if you guys read the manga, why Bakugo feels like he's at fault for what happened to All Might, which just further develops his character. And I also love how he's like hot-headed and rude, and he's just like, he knows that he's the shit, which I don't know, I just find that real. I just love that about his character. Now in the comment section below, tell me, who are your top 10 characters in My Hero Academia? Are you even watching My Hero Academia? If you're not, I highly advise you watch it, because I feel like it's a very enjoyable show, especially with the season 2. Now it's going to be real. I feel like season 2 is going to be a lot better than season 1, just because it has more action and just like the tournament. I'm really hyped for it. So in the comment section below, just tell me your thoughts on your favorite characters. And like always, have a great